Do you think it's okay for women to shoot their shots? People, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to Miriro Moments. My name is Miriro and I have my broskies today.
So my name is Godfrey, but if you like you can also call me Godfrey. I'm Mufaro.
Yes.
And yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about what? Male privilege?
Yeah.
And a bit of relationships?
Yeah.
Alright, so earlier on when I started my channel, I did a girl chat video and I asked them really quick questions and you have to answer these questions.
Okay.
Right? Would you date a lady who's taller than you?
Nah.
No?
It's, you know, I mean I would, but it's a preference that I would not look for ever.
Why?
So, okay, so that's a social construct in my mind.
Okay.
The males, it just works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you?
I think for me it depends on how tall.
Okay.
If it's like, I'd be like no. But I guess like Godfrey, it's a bit of a social construct as well, because I think it's, for me, it's, I find it a bit awkward to be with someone, you know, like taller than me, especially if it's exceedingly taller than me. I'm like,
okay. Second question. Would you date a lady who is older than you?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
And I've actually dated someone older than me.
Come on now.
Yeah, but I would, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you?
most definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
So age is not...
It's not a number, it's something.
No, not really. It is a bit of a social construct as well, but
yeah.
I've done it before, so yeah.
You don't think it's an issue?
Yeah.
Third question. Do you think it's okay for women to shoot their shots?
I don't. Also, I mean, anyone you can, but you shouldn't. So
Okay.
that's the answer. We are literally constructed and created to lead, to take the initiative. More often than not,
Yeah.
if a woman shoots the shot, she will be pulling this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
She will be trying to lead this guy. She will be trying. She's the one who will be initiating when she shouldn't be. Right? There's that. Then secondly, I feel like it's one of the most frustrating things for a woman to pull a guy.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. If you're trying to inspire him, if you're trying to motivate him, it's the worst. So like if a man is not there, if he's not present, trying to inspire that is like the Lord's work.
Don't do it.
Don't
Do not
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Do not do it. I think, I like what Godfrey said, you can. But I think for me personally, I just feel a bit iffy about it. So I'm just like, nah, do not, because I think I share the same sentiments as Godfrey. It's you don't want to. I don't know. I think sometimes you also set up disappointment for yourself at the same time.
So I love this analogy,
Yeah.
and it's this analogy that God presents to us about Jesus Christ, who is a male figure, pursued the church, who is a female figure.
Come on.
He loved us before we loved him. He came for us when we needed him. He served us. He honored us. He sacrificed for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he pursued. He chased after us, and he still pursues us every day.
Yeah.
We're out here blue ticking God, and he's
He's still pursuing.
He's like, I love you.
So for me, if it's always led by that, by the Christian aspect, that God came for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's why in the word it says that husbands, love your wives like Christ
Loved
loved
the
the church.
church.
Because that's literally just how the dynamic should be.
So-
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Like, how would you actually describe male privilege? Do you think it's a thing in today's society?
Yes, it's definitely a thing. So what I've understood about male privilege, because it is a thing,
Yes.
right? It's a thing, right? So what I've understood about it, I think has made more sense in the way it manifests. So I use various examples, and my first interaction with privilege that made sense to me was in high school. And so in high school, privilege came with seniority. right?
Yeah.
So I went to an all-boys school, boarding school. So seniority was a big thing, right?
I can relate.
So there were certain privileges that you earned as you rose up the ranks in this. If you, there were certain lawns you couldn't walk on. There were certain rooms you couldn't be in if you were Form 1. So like if you're a prefect, for example, you're at the top. So now we get to male privilege. There's privilege that comes through your gender. So because of the male part of it, right? So being a male in society comes with privilege. And this has manifested in ways that I've understood it in, say, family, right? The males are treated in a certain way for various reasons. The thing of, say, who's served first.
Oh yes, definitely.
Right. So being a male came with a certain privilege that people are working to feed you first. Type situation.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
Society has allowed us as males a myriad of privilege, examples of privilege.
What can you do as men to ensure that people are more conscious of the fact that male privilege actually exists?
I think first of all, it's bringing to light these issues, because I feel like, you know, in the years that have passed, we've been conditioned, you know, to actually, you know, think that male privilege is not a thing. I think one of the things we can do is to educate. We can educate, you know, our fellow brethren and say, guys, right, male privilege is a thing, right? But we kind of now need to change the narrative and be more, you know, involved, you know, in doing things. We're equal, you know, and equality doesn't stem from the workplace. It stems from right from the home. You know, every boy should be able to wash plates. Every boy should be able to cook and clean the house, you know. And it's one of those things where, look, okay, you're gonna stay by yourself, you know, when you go to college or you move out of your parents' house, right? And you know, you need to know how to do the basic things, like, you know, the cooking, the washing, you know, and just the general house things. Even serving guests, when the people come and visit you, you should be able to learn how to serve your guests. So we have the opportunity to change the narrative. Yeah.
I mean, if we establish that male privilege is a thing, is that the only thing we're trying to do to raise awareness that male privilege is a thing? Or, fine, it is a thing, but is it bad? Right? No, think about it. Think about it. No, because why I'm saying this? I'm saying this? I think there's my urgency, or my desire to be consistent about things. Right? So, if we say, as children of God, as saved people, we have privileges that we have.
Come on now.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like access to God is a privilege. So, privilege in itself can't be bad. Right?
Oh my God!
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah.
So for me, why is it necessarily bad? I think whenever we talk about privilege, those who are privileged want to hang on to the privilege that they have. Do you get what I mean? So whenever I have conversations with men and I point out that there are certain injustices that still exist to this day, but the thing is you're blind to it because you are privy to it. Because in as much as we are equal, we're not the same. We are not exactly the same. It's very unfortunate, but we're not the same. So how do we navigate that? We are equal when God sees us. We are equal. We are, you know, before Him, He loves us equally. But I think He understands that there's some differences that are within us in terms of how He made us to be. That we also need to acknowledge. So why is it bad? Because in essence, women are not progressing as a result of that. And I think we cannot deny that fact. And I think I was even talking about in the African context, a lot of women are still oppressed because men still view women as objects. And they might not voice it, but in their actions, in the way they see women, in the way they treat women, at the back of their heads, they objectify women. Women are just there to serve them, to ensure that everything is well with you, your children are well, you know, you are fed, especially in a marriage or something, or things like that, you know. I'm there to serve the man. But how can a man serve a woman to ensure that we're living in a society that is progressive?
So the problem is not male privilege.
Okay.
I think these are my sentiments. The problem is not male privilege. The problem is the abuse of privilege.
Okay.
Right, like I said,
Go there.
privilege in itself is not bad.
Okay.
So to deal with the problem, you need to understand what the problem is.
Okay.
And that's where Mufaro speaks about enlightening people, educating people, and raising awareness to what the problem is. From there, because now you can never solve a problem you don't know.
Yeah, true. That is true.
Right. So I think that's what we need to do today. Firstly, talking about it, understanding it, and raising an awareness of what it is. Because, like you said, a person could truly be oblivious to the damage they're doing to the girl child just because they don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah.
So trying to now say, hey, stop what you're doing, you say, wait, what am I doing? When all I'm doing is enjoying my privilege.
I would say, I think even if you look at the marriage structure, so let's start there, because you have kids that are in homes, and you know what they see their parents do, they end up adopting in their marriages. So I think it's really, you know, like you spoke about objectifying women and how men tend to do that as well. And, you know, we're not being able to see a woman as a person that can think for herself.
Yeah.
But you as the man have to then step in and say no, A, B, C, D, the controlling aspect to you as well. So there's that aspect that really exists and so prevalent.
This is what I understand about the home. And I'll go forward and then come back a bit.
Yeah.
So everything we see today in our daily lives in the streets, is a fruit of what was sown in the home. Right?
True.
All these behaviors, approaches to things, and views on everything is all shaped and reshaped and destroyed in the home.
Yeah.
Right? So in the home, as far as I know, and at least with what I've grown to understand and what I've read about, there is a structure and a way of doing things in any home, which I feel can be universal. Right? And that is defined by roles. Right? And those roles can be assumed by anyone. Consider children or young people that are now parents, if they're no parents anymore. They're fulfilling a role.
Yeah.
Right? So now, it's a bit tricky now that people have grown for decades being conditioned, I love the word you used at some point, conditioned to think a certain way and to view the family in a certain way. And those foundations are being shook at. They're being shaked. Right? Now, women are able and empowered to provide and protect and lead, which the male should be doing.
Okay.
So now that there's a whole lot of cognitive dissonance happening. Where now, so I think there's a resistance and a reluctance to see females assume this role.
How do we navigate that? What is an answer to that? Especially from a godly perspective, because roles are a thing. And God does want us to honor them, our husbands, and submit to them and stuff like that. So your take, are we saying that one day the husband washes the dishes, the second day the wife washes the dishes? So you guys are agreeing with that?
Definitely. So if the function of taking care of people, feeding people, if it is a function, anyone can do that function.
I think also because I think, you know, in maybe in context to what you've just said, I think Dr. Miles Monroe said one thing, and he said that if you don't understand the purpose of the thing, it will be prone to abuse. You will abuse that thing. And that, if people, you know, maybe for me, because I'm Christian, I would say, you know, the Bible is your basic guide and tool to understand some of these things.
As people, we can create our own culture within marriages. I don't think that there is a marriage that should be exactly the same as any other. I think the two of you should create your own culture and the dynamic of, and even what submission truly means for a husband and a wife can look different. For some people, submission is wife should always, bow down and serving her husband, and she's happy to do that. You know what I mean? She's okay with doing that. Someone else might not be happy with doing that, and you understand each other when it comes to that. So I just think that you need to obviously have that conversation. So thank you so much, guys, for coming through to do this video with me. I really enjoyed our conversation. You guys are awesome. Continue pursuing God. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Please make sure you subscribe down below. Please leave a thumbs up, like the video if you enjoyed it, and comment down below what's your take on anything that we actually discussed, male privilege, relationships, or anything like that. Thank you so much. Bye. Toodles.